This is too mysterious to be him. Let me hold on to the letter. Anything related to Dan Feng's past should be handled with care.
Jetzt kaputt.
Just as I thought. There was more than met the eye. Letting her leave first was a wise choice. I can't put her in danger again because of this. But if he didn't send the letter, then who did? Maybe I should make a trip to the seat of divine foresight. I need to ask Jing Yuan about the Stellaron hunters.
Okay, also eine Erkundungsexkursion. Stufe 82 herausfordern Ying Liu. Wer ist Ying Liu? Ying Liu. Die da muss im Team sein. Ah ja, okay. Pack sie ein. Hinzufügen. Mach mal die Schnellformation. Also sie. Na, ihn auf jeden Fall. Im Trailblazer. Hey, es ist aber eine unbehagsame Animation. Die löst Unbehagen in mir aus.
After all this time away from the Luofu, the seat of divine foresight has only become more hostile. It's quite reassuring. Relax. You needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just reminiscing about the old days. However, I never thought Jing Yuan would send you to accompany me. It would seem our fates are intertwined. Huh?
I've got my work cut out for me today. Well, if it isn't Dan Heng.
Greetings. I need to speak to the General about something.
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept full responsibility. They can deduct my next 100 years' salary if they like.
The Cloud Knights were doing their duty. I'm here to ask the General about the Stellaron hunters.
You came at a bad time. The General is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able to meet with him today. But he did leave a message. Dan Heng. Do you recognize the person on the steps?
Wo ist er denn?
I can't say that I know her, but she does look a little familiar. Is she a guest of the General's?
You don't remember her? I see. I suppose the memories of your previous life really were wiped clean after the rebirth. That is Jing Liu, the previous sword champion of the Xianzhou Law Fu. She was the closest friend of Imbibitor Lune, your previous incarnation. She was also the General's master. According to records of wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance. Not even the feather guards of the Wingweaver, the father wolf of the Borazin, or the gigantic mecha beast could withstand a single strike from her. She's a renowned legend. However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame that even a hero like her wasn't able to break free of Mara. It is said that in the end, Jing Liu lost her sanity and slaughtered anyone in sight. She was deemed a criminal and fled to outer worlds. With her powers, you'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. For some reason, she arrived on the Luofu with a suspect disguised as a traveling merchant and said she wanted to turn herself in. Her surrender came with one condition: that she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel to Scale Gorge Waterscape and meet with her old friends one last time. I can't believe Jing Yuan actually agreed. Before he left, he ordered us to accompany Jing Liu during her last day on the Luofu. We're hosting an honored guest. We're escorting a criminal.
Imbibitor Lune, you're here. Since you traveled all this way, why don't you come and talk with me? Or should I call you by your name in this lifetime? Dan Heng.
Dan Heng. What? Sieht nur so kopfbreit aus. Hä? Ja, wie das ein Spiegel oder? Hä? Warte, ich mach das mal so. Sonst kommt man durcheinander. Also, meine Truppe und Dan Heng. Aber Dan Heng ist ja gar nicht mitgekommen. Ja, gehen wir mal aus von, dass Dan Heng mitgegangen sei. Ist? Wäre? Könnte sein, wollte, wäre? Weil sie hat jetzt Dan Heng angesprochen und ich habe ja den Imbibitor und ja. Scheinbar will sie mir was erzählen über Dan Heng, Imbibitor Lunae, von dem sie die engste Freundin war. Das Luna, vielleicht deswegen auch der Mond da, die Mondbinde. Aber eigentlich spricht sie jetzt mit Dan Heng oder so.
When I left the Xianzhou, I heard they took away your
das bringt dann natürlich durcheinander, wenn man mit der Jing Liu da gerade und da und dann als Dan Heng mit der Ding Liu, Liu, da denkt man spricht den Spiegel.
But then I returned to the Luofu and watched as you parted the sea. After all these years, it was a magnificent sight to behold.
Ich erinnere mich an dich, aber nur vage. Mein letztes Leben ist vorbei.
I recognize you, but I can't remember anything. The memories of my past life are like shattered glass. I can't piece together the reality from the individual shards.
I can't remember the words of every person who hopes to escape their past. The Vidyadhara rebirth normally erases all memory of the previous life. However, you have retained fragments of your past, as well as the powers of the High Elder. If my guess is correct, the Preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end, and hoped for the Imbibiter Lunay's resurrection. That is why they tampered with the molting rebirth, and turned you into what you are now.
Durchhäutung, das hört sich jetzt nicht angenehm an. Oh, letzte Sache.
You're not here to reminisce on old times. Tell me why you're here.
You didn't hear? That Vidyadhara girl explained it clear as day. I returned to the Luofu so I could surrender myself to the Alliance and atone for my sins. I did, however, have one request before the trial. I asked to be given a single day to go and see old friends, and to fulfill promises I made long ago. Jing Yuan has always been an understanding person. He heard that you would be coming and agreed to my request.
So, you're the one that mailed the letter to the Express.
That's right.
Anstrengend die Stimmen. Beide.
The sea's depths conceal no stone, and dragons' breaths reveal the moon. The scenery of Scale Gorge waterscape is truly as magnificent as the poems describe. But as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this, General?
Holding you in the shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth. For security purposes, we will be performing your trial here.
For security purposes? I suppose it's not my security you're talking about.
The Stellaron's descent, the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection, the Destruction Emanator's impersonation of the Ambassador.
Und er seinen Sarg gelassen.
According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, you arrived on the Luofu with a group of merchants, but didn't make a single trade during your stay.
Nicht nochmal Lucha oder so.
Your departure coincided with the day the calamities took place. You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Now you claim that you are responsible for the Stellaron crisis and wish to surrender yourself. Your
will sich
behavior
auch
truly
ergeben.
is puzzling. I can't seem to piece together your motive.
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. I admit I did have my own agenda for entering the shackling prison, but in the end, I found that the Luofu did not possess what I was looking for. It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The galaxy is a vast place, but I am merely a wanderer. It would be silly of me to think that I could outrun the Alliance.
Merely a wanderer. You're too modest, Locha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the Eternity Fortress and the Shroud Veil Star Zone? Or must I utter that tongue twister of a name?
Well, They don't call you the divine foresight for nothing, General.
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research, or this conversation would have been quite dry.
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you looking to defend me and clear my name of suspicion?
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave crime. According to protocol, you are to be held on the Xianzhou Shuling for a joint trial before the 10 Lords Commission and the 7 Arbiter Generals. However, at present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape. It will be the last view of the Law Fu you ever lay eyes on.
She told me that the High Cloud Quintet once gathered and feasted here hundreds of years ago. The unparalleled sword techniques of your master, the mesmerizing cloud hymn magic of Imbibitor Lunae Dan Feng, the artful piloting skills of Bai Heng, the divine weapons crafted by the Ju-Ming artisan Ying Xing, and the unmatched stratagem of the General. The 5 of you vanquished evil from the world, creating legendary tales in your wake. Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever, and the High Cloud Quintet disbanded as each of you went your separate ways. You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here. But not for security purposes. You wish to discuss things that shouldn't be overheard. You wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now. Your master, Jing Liu.
We can head out now. I would like to visit a few places from my memories, enjoy a glass of wine, and reminisce about the good times.
Have you mistaken yourself for a tourist?
I would make a wonderful tourist. Lower your guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance, and I will keep my word. Besides, your general has already agreed to my request. Imbibitor Lunae, you must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer, regardless of whether you're still interested in your previous life. Accepting my letter means that you've accepted
Spricht
my
sie-
invitation.
Nicht die Reinkarnation, die Vorinkarnation,
Lead the
die, die
Where
Präinkarnation
should we start?
an.
Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first, or to the Artisanship Commission? So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. When the people of the Xianzhou live to be more than 1,000 years old, each day is like carrying the weight of a mountain through an interminable maze.
How hard is it to choose a destination? We're going to Stargazer Navalia. Problem solved.
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia it is.
If it's star skiffs you wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate. Why did we come all the way here?
Young man, Have you ever heard of Baihung, the Foxian pilot?
Baihung. I think I've seen that name somewhere before.
Let the noble High Elder drown the enemies in rain. We just need a watch from the sky, I presume?
Imbibitor Lunae, if memories are returning to you, share them.
I think she was one of Imbibitor Lunae's comrades.
She was a comrade and friend to both Imbibitor Lunae and all of us. Well, that's all in the past now. The reason we came to Stargazer Navalia is because I wanted to pay tribute to her here.
Huh? You mean the Foxian soul-soothing ceremony?
Yes, the sending off of a star skiff. It represents the voyage of the deceased into the stars. Due to circumstances beyond my control, I never had the chance to bid farewell to her. It is something I have regretted to this day. As for procuring a star skiff, I know they can be manufactured here, but I know nothing of the process.
I see. Follow me. I don't know anything about manufacturing star skiffs either. But getting these machines to work shouldn't be too hard. Careful. There are still Stellaron spirits lurking around.
Hält sie aber vornehm zurück. Ja, ich glaube, die taucht nichts.
The conflict of the mind there. That's all. World cleansing dragon.
Das war ja nicht schlecht.
We've arrived. All ship production in Stargazer Navalia starts here. Just enter the command into the device. The vessel used to cultivate starskiff seeds will be activated, and a ship will appear in the skyport soon after. I remember now. I've seen Baihung's name in books before.
You like to read? I couldn't tell.
Hey, I don't read much, but the General forced me to finish a bunch of ancient volumes during my training. I remember one called Views of the Universe from a Star Skiff. The author's name was Baihung.
That's right. Baihung was the one who wrote that travelogue.
It was actually really interesting. 90% of it was about starskiff crashes on different worlds and dangerous situations. It also had records of local species and ecosystems. I remember thinking, how could an ace pilot crash land her starskiff so many times? Then I realized that every time, she made the best of the situation and got back alive. Her luck really was out of this world.
Sie an wie die
Indeed,
die Story
her
von
luck
Raumschiff
always
Enterprise.
astonished us. Whenever she piloted a mission, you could almost guarantee a narrow escape from the jaws of some abundance behemoth, or a miraculous return from behind enemy lines. Very few star skiffs she piloted were able to return to port in one piece. The folks at the Skyfaring Commission secretly referred to her as the Star Skiff Killer. She also possessed an uncanny ability to predict future events, inauspicious ones at least. Every ill omen that came out of her mouth would sure enough come true. Very few Cloud Knights had the courage to accompany her on missions. However, when it came to surviving, her fortunes were incredible. Even in the worst situations imaginable, she was always able to turn the tide. Luck is a type of strength, after all. I hope that this ship, built for the Star Skiff Killer, will also be able to return to the stars.
Ha! That'll do it. The Starskiff assembly line has been activated. The Starskiff will take shape and enter the skyport. Let's go wait for it there. It won't be long.
Das hier ist das Fließband.
Thank you, young man.
Da geht's lang und dann geht's das Fließband lang oder so.
See, the Starskiff is complete.
After being away from the Luofu for so long, I can finally say farewell to you.
So, what happened to Baihong in the end?
In the end, I do not think the details are necessary. We are here today to commemorate her. Imbibitor Lunae, do you still remember the battle against Shuhu?
Did Dan Feng fight alongside you?
Yes, the High Elder was held in higher regard. The Cloud Knights became wary after learning of Dan Feng's imminent arrival. General Tang Xiao called for me to guarantee the safety of the troops. But Baihong didn't care about any of that. She believed that the High Elder was mortal and no different from the soldier next to her. You ran a fair share of errands for her when she was still around. Let me refresh your memory. During that battle, Baihong, being the headstrong girl that she was, managed to exhaust the luck that was bestowed upon her by the Rainbow Arbiter. She charged ahead and shattered the enemy's defenses, allowing the Xianzhou soldiers to break through Shuhu's sanguinary abyss